you are in a relationship with someone who you want to be with forever, then please listen to this so you don't make the same mistakes I did and lose that person. No relationship is perfect. Every relationship has its problems, its fights, its issues, and sometimes those are problems that are reoccurring that have just never been resolved. But, like, listen to this. If you guys are fighting and you can't figure out, like, why you can't get on the same page, then this is what you do. Take your feelings and the way you feel you've been hurt and take that and shove it aside. This is not about you right now. Chances are somehow you've hurt your partner too, and they want you to hear them and you want them to hear you. So you have to put your feelings aside and you have to actually put yourself into their head. Now, once you're in their head, think of the way that you acted in a situation, something you said, an action you did, and then think about, based on your action, how would they have felt? I want you to really feel it. Like, this is not just like, put yourself in their shoes. Like, I need you to feel it. Feel that emotion. Feel their pain. Put your feelings aside. Empathize with your partner. And just love them. Literally just love them. Like, please stop fucking fighting and just love each other.
Okay, fat women, I'm gonna teach you how to get the princess treatment from men. And I'm talking like you're over 300 pounds and men are treating you like gold. I have been flown out. I have been wined and dined. I've had very respectful conversations. I get flowers regularly. I'm not gonna lie to you. This takes time. It takes patience, understanding. You want a quick fix? This is probably not the video for you. I tell them I like flowers. I like flowers regularly. Flowers make me feel blah, blah, blah. I love gifts. I love when someone thought of me and blah, 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 blah. Like, I tell them exactly what I want. And here's the thing. Some of them are going to do it just in the beginning, just to like get your attention or whatever. But usually the mask comes off at some point and you'll know whether it's like within their character to be this way. I saw something the other day that said toxic men are always looking to see what they can get from you, and like healthy men are always looking to see how they can serve you. And I feel like that is spot on. I also don't expect that every man that approaches me is going to be my type or the kind of man that I like, because I'm very picky.
I always joke about how like I leave a snail trail everywhere I go. If I'm in gym clothes especially, it seeps through so bad. It's on every seat that I sit on, whatever. Even in high school, this was like a thing. But I knew it was really bad when today at Pilates, we were sitting on the reformer and we were doing like little swimming things, and I touched down, and when I stood back up into a like more standing position, my instructor like jokingly was like, I got you guys sweating on that reformer, especially you, meaning me. I wasn't sweating. That was just pussy juice, just trailing, just sliming that machine up. And I was like, yeah. So I sat down and like did the white forward thing. But like also she shouldn't have called me out because it's like fucking shady. Like I feel like she knew that like obviously it wasn't sweat, but like whatever. But even at the gym and stuff, like I have to literally like carry a towel and like wipe that shit off. And it's not even embarrassing. It's just like, why?
So today was giving bare fucking minimum. Good morning, good morning. I didn't reply with an emoji because, like, why would I?
Yeah.
Why?
How are we feeling? I called him. He doesn't pick up. I say, call me. He goes, hold up, baby girl. Talking to my man. He's telling me something. I'm like, okay, very dry. 11:58. He responds, 1:38. Shit was a long combo. I didn't want to respond.
Still doesn't call you back.
Still doesn't call me back.
Okay.
So then I call me. Doesn't call me. And they're like, you never call me back, it's so annoying. 2:44, responds at 8:20. I legit still hasn't called me. You guys, what are you doing? What am I doing right now?
Nothing. You're not responding.
No.
It's done.
No, let's respond something mean.
Oh.
What am I doing right now?
Not you.
We're analyzing.
When a man wants to get married, he's only getting married truly for one reason. The men can work and provide for themselves. He does not necessarily need you to cook, clean, and have sex, because he can get sex from multiple women. A lot of them can cook and clean. Their mother taught them, or they can pay someone to get it. The culture is telling them these women do not get married. So why would a man go past what the culture is telling him and choose to have a wife? It's for one real simple reason. Because with a wife, you can now have love, you can now have nurturing, You can have support. You can have affection. This is what he can't get from a roommate. So if that is not what you're leading with your relationships with men, is love, support, nurturing, and respect, this is why your husband is now pulling away, because in the beginning you gave him those things. But as you got into the relationship, you got bitter, you got resentful, you start seeing his flaws, start counting that against him, you start measuring him against other men, and now you're pulling back on the love, the affection, and the nurturing.
Ultimately, this is where women end up, when they're constantly focusing on how they feel, instead of trying to understand how their boyfriend or husband feels. This woman realized her mistake, but it was way too late, and the guy broke up with her. If a woman is not trying to understand what you're dealing with, as much as they expect you to understand what they are dealing with, run a mile. Nothing is worse than being blamed for everything while they take accountability for absolutely nothing. They're not worth the hassle.
You can say that again.
So basically, the way how she gets princess treatment is to find desperate simps who will treat her with gifts and flowers. And she avoids the high-value men who would not look twice at her. She describes the men who want to serve her as healthy men, more like unhealthy idiots.
They're utterly fooled.
This is just nasty. Who wants to use a gym machine after it's covered in poon juice? Not to mention after it's dried up. This is not as uncommon as you think it is. The correct term is called a coregasm. It typically happens during an intense core workout, specifically when engaging the abs and pelvic floor muscles. So if you want to avoid using a stain machine, make sure you bring some hydrochloric acid to get rid of the stains and wear a gas mask for the smell.
Nasty.
Every time she said for him to call, he gave a reason why he couldn't. What did she do? Negate everything he was saying. She ignored the fact he was talking to his friend. She ignored the fact he said he was busy all day. So like usual, women don't want to understand anything from the man's perspective. It's just me from her side. Switch the roles around. If he negated the fact she was talking to her friend and was busy all day, he would be seen as a narcissist who was trying to control her by telling her to call constantly. I'll say it once and I'll say it again. Women are not the kind, understanding, caring, compassionate gender any longer.
Facts.
This is so true. It's not necessarily the cooking or the cleaning that is more important for the man. It's the affection, support and nurturing. It's easy to buy all the other things, but you can't buy somebody who truly loves and cares about you. Once modern women understand this, they will get further with men in relationships. But unless they stop listening to horrible dating advice from single women, they will get nowhere.
They're lost! Real men of genius.